Greetings, fellow green thumbs of the apocalypse, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Roots of Yggdrasil, Episode 2, Saplings of Yggdrasil. So let's depart on a new loop. So here is the time left before the dark fog catches us, the Gunung Gap or something, I don't know, but that's what the dark fog is. Similar to maybe like FTL or something like that, where you're time constricted. And then we can see our current cards in our deck, and we can obviously expand these by increasing population and doing adventures and the like. Up here, we can have our base income, supplies, a tier, and then Thrasier's bonus is all buildings cost 50% less for the first 5 turns. So trying to construct a whole lot of setup early on is ideal. So the Norns, another foretold meeting. And then we can also decide on, and both of these are golden acorns, the bonuses, but you guys can decide east or west. So there's a little poll there that you can vote on. She is here, sisters, and she has been here before, so she shall be again until the end of time. Who the? What are you people? What do you want from us? We are the mothers of Ragnarok, of its horrors and its victims. We are the authors of its prophesized end and its endless repeating cycle. We are all that is, ever was, and will be. You may call us Norns, weavers of all fates, and your fate is the great of great interest. Allow us to steer its course. So there's some choices here to be made, and let's say we go west. Wins by 1 vote. So, choices. I'll have you guys pick. A Weaver's Needle. We gain an additional building card choice whenever we unlock new cards. An Iron Gauntlet. The next building created after a Scion power usage is free. Or a Maker's Hammer. Gain might when 3 buildings are created in 1 turn. Maker's Hammer it is. And you guys wanted the Western Vanaheim Forests. So before we do anything, let's analyze. We have got a might path here that probably leads to this tree. And this tree wants 1 military building nearby. Military buildings typically require houses nearby, so it's going to need houses nearby to build the military building. And then this one needs a refinery nearby. Refineries usually are built with resource exploitation, like iron mines and lumber mills. So that's what we're looking at. And then there is this tree here that we're adjacent to. And this tree just requires 30 might to unlock. We also have an initial adventure right next to our starting ship, so let's embark on that. And I don't have 25 might to spend for more magic, so I can't offer much, but I will gain a little bit of A tier. So there, that adventure is done, and we have a little bit more magic to spend. I'm going to put down the observatory now, and then let's start to set up the initial houses. So here's a first card. So the armory requires enemy buildings to be built but the training ground only requires 2 houses, so the training ground is a little bit easier to deploy. And because one of the trees requires the military building, I think this is probably the better choice, even though it doesn't generate a lot of might. Because it will be easier to use. We have 33 supplies. And because we built, we fulfilled the needs for Maker's Hammer, I am going to spend some of the might we have. And I'm actually going to put a barracks down now to earn enough might to explore the other direction. Because we have a bit of a time crunch, I find sort of front-loading all of the construction, and instead of trying to like min-max the amount of might that we get, I find it more useful to initiate the explorations as soon as possible, because they do take 2 turns. And if you see up here, this is the daytime, and then in 10 days we have dusk, and then after that we have nighttime. And what ends up happening around dusk and nighttime is fog will start creeping in and destroying everything, and if it reaches the ship, we lose. So it's important to spend your time wisely. Well, I got a training ground, but I didn't want to get a training ground yet, but that's okay. I'll try to shove it here or something. Let's put a few more houses in to fulfill the Maker's Hammer requirements again for extra might. Trying to maximize that 10 might every turn. That way we can... And I do find that a lot of these loops, you need quite a lot of might to get through all the exploration, so it's useful to like max out the amount of might that you have. Because we also want to unlock this tree, which requires 30 might, and I'm sure there's other exploration paths around here that is going to require that as well. So now that we have all these extra houses, I can put a training ground. And then we'll put a shrub in to help with our supply income. So supply income is a little bit higher. There's nothing to log, so I'm going to have to discard that. And here we go. So this way, there is no yet clear path to get to this sapling, but it's probably from this exploration path. So I'll initiate that with some of the might that we have. And then we can also start these adventures. We'll do the caravan first. So quick choice. I'm only going to leave these up for like 10-15 seconds. But, oop, I lost the choice. Never mind. That's also something that happens every now and then, is if you like right-click, you like delete the adventure choice. So I'll have to make sure not to do that. All right, Adventure of the Cave. My scion will be unavailable to me for 6 turns as he adventures through the cave. So we'll start that. The other thing that is possible is sometimes you will have, like if I re-roll these. Well, here's a rally flag that I might use. But sometimes you'll have the ability to speed up adventures, which can save you time in the long run. So here is another choice. Because I think the act of tabbing out kind of destroyed these, I'm going to have to just pick these on my own. So we can either gain an immediate 30 might, or gain an income of 4 might per turn. And I'm going to do the income of 4 might per turn. We'll set up some iron digs. Take a look at the observatory choices. I don't like them. See if we can't put down another shrub for more income. There we go. We have 2 turns until we can maybe get to that sapling. And then we're also going to want to activate this to get to that sapling. So here's an instance where taking off from the ship only requires 2 saplings. But there's 1, 2, 3 at least visible. And it's not always a choice. It's not always adventures is a choice between 2 things. It can be up to 4 things. So trying to put the pull up ahead of time is not all that possible. Also, wouldn't mind getting an additional card. So I'm going to play 2 more houses to trigger the population for a new card. Let's go with the crane. Draw new cards. Oh, okay. Here it is. It didn't get destroyed. I was wrong. So, choice. As you approach the convoy, you can find most of its vehicles damaged or destroyed by raiders. A lone grizzled carpenter is tirelessly toiling to fix them, but his old bones may well give out before his job is done. You offer a helping hand, saving the convoy precious time. So I can either upgrade one of my building cards now, or gain a blueprint. So the upgrading a building helps me in this loop. The blueprint helps build up the Holt, so it's more of a permanent benefit. And it looks like you guys want me to go for the blueprint. And yeah, I would agree. Generally speaking, unless you think you're going to fail a loop, investing in the Holt is better, more long-term investment. Here's another iron dig, which will be nice for our income. We have a crane to draw more cards. Another iron dig, good. Lots of income for supplies now. I can initiate the might to get to this tree. And the reason I'm starting the exploration to get a new tree, I could have bloomed this tree. But blooming this tree doesn't take turns, whereas this takes 2 turns. And I want to try to get everything possible. So it's in my best interest to try to initiate all of the timed things as early as I can. So then I'll initiate the might to this for this last tree. And this tree requires me to have a population of 20. So I'll need more houses in order to do that. I don't necessarily want to build the houses now, however, because some of these other saplings require houses nearby. So I'm going to build houses to unlock the other saplings on the map, which will unlock this sapling. All right, this path is open, and there is a threat here. So this threat is brambles, and brambles destroys nearby. Brambles sort of like blocks your path, but building a might building nearby will destroy the brambles. So in order to get rid of those brambles, I'm going to need to build, either barracks or training grounds or something like that nearby there. Let's also initiate the exploration to this sapling. And then this old ruin will give me an uncommon or rare card if I build a combat building nearby there as well. So what I want to do is I want to build some houses here. And these houses, if I position them correctly, will be able to fulfill the requirement of the old ruins building a might building nearby. Because all my might buildings require houses nearby. And then also possibly a refinery. If the refinery requires housing. So I'm going to build, let's go with 2 houses here. No, I'll go with all 3 in case I get a barracks next turn. So what I'm aiming for is either getting a training ground or a barracks to be able to unlock the old ruins and destroy the brambles at the same time. We have a logger camp. shrubs. All right, looks good. So here, as you can see, the brambles are spreading, but just as I planned, I did manage to get a barracks card, which is going to allow us to destroy the brambles within the sphere of influence of the barracks, and also unlock and rebuild the ruins. So this ruin, I am going to get the market card. Why not, with something super rare? All right, exploring in this direction, we have this old ruin that requires 3 houses nearby, and then an adventure for a cave, but this cave adventure requires our leader to be present, which he's currently not. He is tied up in this adventure. I'm going to re-roll these choices. One last re-roll. Not getting lucky. What I really wanted to do is I wanted to speed up the adventures, because I would like to get as many adventures done as possible, because you can get rewards. But if this adventure takes like 6 turns, and this has 3 more turns, I don't have that much time left in this loop. So I'm gonna have to skip an adventure or risk going into dusk. So let's go ahead and rebuild these ruins as soon as I have extra funds to build houses. And then we also have revealed this. So this has an artifact when there's 2 amity buildings nearby, and it is guarded by a Draugr encampment. The Draugr encampment prevents amity buildings to be placed, and we can use our might to destroy that threat, and then start exploring to this last tree. So I've unlocked the path. I'm about to unlock the path to all remaining trees. So we got our market card, and it needs to be within 3 amity services, and that will improve our supply income tremendously, which is amazing. Question: should I complete all adventures or take off early? I think that this loop doesn't have any islands past this, so completing all adventures I don't think is going to have a penalty. But future loops are less tutorialized and more dynamic, so it's going to be more of a choice later on. And a new card. So this needs a refinery. And I don't currently have refineries available to me. I'm going to take a... Well, actually, what's in my deck? I don't have any refineries in my deck, which is a bit of a problem to unlock this sapling. They're not in my discard or exhaust pile. Well, actually, the market was a refinery, and I screwed that up. I should have put the market here. So I'm going to do a repurposer in order to sort of like reshuffle my cards. So discarding my hand. and draw some more cards. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to... so I can't unexhaust this market, but what I'm hoping to do is to get a new card that will allow me to get that refinery done. Like this here. Perfect. This Itir Prospector, or alternatively the Hero Statue. The Hero Statue... they both will work. I'll do the Hero Statue. So the Hero Statue will be able to unlock this sapling here. And I can try to get the Hero Statue sooner with this Repurposer, which discards my hand and draws the same amount of cards. So I'm not actually going to use the Barracks or Training Ground, so that I can discard more cards. Oh, no, I lied. I'm going to use... Well, no, that's fine. Repurposer. Let's go. Okay, so here's the Hero Statue. And in order to activate this Hero Statue, it needs to be powered up by an Aetir source. Unfortunately, I just realized I don't have one on hand. And I don't have enough Aetir to cast a power source. So we might end up having to shuffle this into this guard pile and then redraw it at some point. Unless we get one here. So here's another adventure. Sibyl. You, back away from these crops. I didn't spend all this time tending sprouts just to see them squashed by heartless raiders. Easy now. We're not here to cause trouble. Just nomads looking to end this Ragnarok madness. If food's your concern, we have more than enough to share. I beg pardon? You would invite a stranger like me to partake in your resources just like that? Of course. Can't save the world if we can't help strangers we come across, right? Your offer is generous, yet I am a banished woman, unworthy of your aid. My place is here among the rest of the weeds. However, allow me to offer a gift as thanks for this unwarranted respect. May the birds who deign to keep me company guide your paths in turn. Weird. If this is what she wants, we can't stop her, but this is a bit concerning. Let's check on her another time, okay, Chief? So we can make a choice here. I'm going to choose the Raven Feather. So we gain a little bit more magic per turn. Because that's what we've been needing to have available to us. So we have enough to activate the sapling. And with any luck, this sapling is an Aetir source now for this Hero Statue, which activates this sapling. A little bit of synergy there. Perfect. So what we have left is we need 4 more population to unlock this tree, and a military building to unlock that tree, and then some amity buildings to unlock the vault. So let's put down some sturdy housing around the vault to see if we can't get that vault too. So I do have enough to take off now, but you guys voted for me to do extra adventures, so I'm going to try to do that. Okay, we have a bit of a choice here. We can make a choice between a broken spear, which increases the income of might and Aetir by 25% when the scion power is ready. So Thrasir's scion power is to build a house for free. So essentially it would be to not spend his power to gain extra income. The Suit of Rebirth. Each time a card with an exhaust keyword is played, I draw an extra card. Or the third option, Ever Cooking Cauldron. Gain 2 population each time the deck is shuffled. Oh, I see a bit of a tie here. Oh boy, you just continue to tie. Alright, we're going to go with the Soot. And, oh god. I gained a very bad curse card. Which is going to be stuck in my deck for the remainder of this loop, because it costs 1,000 magic to get rid of. Which is not something that I am going to be able to do. Not reasonably, at least. All right, so here we go. The military to get that tree bloomed. So we just collected a third tree, and there's this fourth tree and this vault and this adventure that we're hoping to do. So let's start this cave adventure. So here is one of the two amity buildings, which is just a crane, which is a really cheap way to do it. Boom. And a shrub. The shrub requires one more house. And we gain a thunderous horn. Gain 100 might when the fog appears. Sweet. Now all that is left to unlock this sapling is to literally build a singular house, which is going to be really easy to do. So in effect, all we're really waiting for is for this adventure to finish. So here is the completing the last sapling. Done. So we have 4 saplings of the 2 required. Easy peasy. And unlocking a new card. Let's go with the armory this time. I would ideally like to try to wrap up this adventure early. I can just get an obscene amount of might while we wait. Might as well, just as a funny thing to do. We would be mighty. 151 might. Yeah, so we're just waiting on that adventure to wrap up. And I want to spend points in the observatory to finish that early. So we just need a little bit more magic. The markers on the timeline here are random events that will occur once dusk happens and once nighttime happens. And generally speaking, they're not positive events. So here we go. A lot of our food supplies was contaminated with Itir. It would be dangerous to consume it, so we need to spend the next income of supplies to replenish our food supplies. So here is a choice for you guys to make real quick. Either I can reduce my supplies income for 2 turns to 0 or lose people. What I will say is I'm sitting on 111 supplies right now, and I don't really have any more buildings that I need to build, so food poisoning doesn't really matter, and you guys agree. Not having any income of food is not a big deal. All right, let's reshuffle some cards. What do I have left in the deck? So I don't have anything left in the deck that's going to really help me here. So I'm just building to build at this point. While we wait for the adventure. Oh, I don't think there's any more iron to exploit. So there we go. The last adventure is done. I'm not going to bother pulling for this because I don't need to gain immediate might. So we're going to upgrade a building card. And I am going to upgrade the Shrub. Shrub is an easy card to play. So that will be nice to have a upgraded Shrub. So if you take a look at the... Oh, I think it's in our discard pile. So here's the better Shrub, which is 5 supplies per house, opposed to the 3. All right, we're ready to take off. And before nighttime happened, which is kind of nice. Zoom, zoom. Thank you for tuning in to Roots of Yggdrasil, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 31st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com also has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you on next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow scions.